Do you know what I find absolutely hilarious? So many times women will say that they feel like they're below men, that they feel like they're less important than men in society, and like they feel like they are not advantaged at all. But then when you ask them for a specific concrete example, they can't list a single one. Isn't that interesting? Here are 3 signs to know that you are with the wrong person. And these are obviously not the only signs out there, and obviously there can be cases where there are other signs or where this does not apply to your specific relationship. The first sign is that you guys don't have the same overall values. This could come down to a few different factors. Reason number 2, you do not feel supported, whether that be emotionally, physically, or both. And this can cause the two of you to actually have some fights, because if you do not feel emotionally or physically secured and supported and therefore safe, you are not going to want to be with that person. And you just need to go with your gut feeling and know that, okay, this person is not for me and I cannot be with them. Follow me for more. I have a question to all you people who go around chasing people. What makes you think, I'm sorry, but what makes you think that you chasing someone and trying to convince them that they are good enough for you, especially as a man? You're basically trying to convince a woman to come into your life so that you can pay for her entirely, you can take her out on dates, you can buy her things, and you can be her emotional support when she needs. That's basically what you're trying to make a woman say yes to as a man if you're trying to beg a woman to stay in your life. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just say, you know what? She doesn't want to be in my life. She doesn't want to pursue me the way I want to pursue her. She is not into me. She is not attracted to me. And by the way, that won't change because you tell her to. So just let her go and find someone who is, please. Gentlemen, when you are trying to date a woman, there is a big difference between chasing a woman and pursuing a woman. If you're chasing a woman, it means you are going after a woman and trying to convince her that you are the right person to be with and the right person to date, rather than going after someone who wants you back and who genuinely wants you as well. Pursuing means you're intentionally going after a woman who wants to be with you as well, who wants to build with you as well, and who's open to the idea of being with you long term. That is the difference between chasing and pursuing. As soon as you're going after a woman with the intention of just being able to sleep with her, with the intention of just being with her short term, plus she's not even invested in you, it's just chasing. And there's no point in chasing a woman. It's just a waste of your time. What you should do instead is you should focus on building yourself, building your career, becoming a better person overall, and then you will have women attracted and drawn to you instead, so you won't even need to chase them. Follow me for more. Okay guys, I don't think this one's really complicated, but if you've been talking to a girl for a little while and then she hits you with the, I think we should just be friends, you kind of know that that means she's not into you. And that's fine. Taking rejection is all part of the process. You will meet so many people who will be right for you and will be good for you, and you'll meet so many people who aren't right for you. So if a girl tells you that she just wants to be friend, tell her this. Tell her, I'm not looking for a friend at the moment, I'm looking for a partner. But I really appreciate your honesty and I really appreciate you confronting me about this, and I wish you all the best for your future. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and make it clear to her that you respect her decision and that you're not salty or bitter about it, or you're going to try and convince her mind, or you're going to try and convince her otherwise, because you trying to convince her will never work. You can either accept the rejection, and this might actually make her change her mind, or you accept the rejection anyway and then you move on and you find someone who is truly right for you. Ladies, just so you know, if your man is actually telling you that he wants you to do a specific thing, or he's worried about you, or he is thinking about you, or he is concerned about you, he's not being controlling. No. That man actually cares about you, and that man actually loves you. The moment you're with a man who doesn't say anything, do anything, or tell you anything about what you should or shouldn't do, you're with a guy who genuinely doesn't care. Or you're with a guy who's just there to waste his time and your time. So either way, you've lost. You want to be with a man who cares about you and speaks up about it. Guys, here are 3 things not to do when you're texting a girl. Number 1, do not over text her. Do not be so clingy. Don't text her 50,000 times a day. Text her less, but text her shorter, meaningful messages so that she can look forward to getting messages from you and doesn't get used to them being so bland and boring. Number 2, don't send dry texts on the other hand. Don't just respond with K and never send emojis, because that's just kind of rude. And then she's gonna feel offended and she will get better texts from another guy, trust me. And number 3 is don't overuse certain emojis, okay? You need to be kind of careful as a guy when you send emojis, and you need to be sure that you don't send every possible emoji, especially not all emojis that women send. Some emojis, as stupid as it sounds, are more feminine, and women will think that they're kind of feminine to use as a man. So be careful with the emojis you send, the amount of emojis you send, and make sure your texts are really meaningful. Follow me for more. I genuinely believe that if you are not the biggest cheerleader and the biggest fan of your partner, then you are not far away from a breakup, because you chose to be the supporter of this person out of everyone in the world. So if you are not doing that job and you are not telling them and actively showing them that you want to support them no matter what, and you want to help them no matter what, there will be someone out there who will do it better. So you need to continuously love your partner, prioritize your partner, put your partner's needs above your own in certain situations, and make sure you actively show them how much you care and how much you love them. Why are you guys sharing the most intimate relationship with each other otherwise? Make sure you remember that and think about that before you go and ruin a great relationship. Okay, I've heard this is like a common thing when it comes to dating in 2024/2025, but I just want to say that whoever I will ever go on a date with, if you assume that I'm talking to or sleeping with or going out with other people at the same time, you're wrong. Because I don't do this whole dating a bunch of people. I date one person at a time and that's it. And if that person's the right person, then great. And if they're not, then I will stop talking to that person. And when I'm over that person, I'll go on to the next person. But I don't do this whole dating 50,000 people at once. I think that's just stupid, actually. And I'm not a hoe. You know? Do you know what the problem with today's generation is? So many people nowadays believe that they deserve way more than they actually are and than they actually have. So many people nowadays are so delusional, especially young women, that they have this belief that they can literally get and they literally deserve whatever they want. It's like, wake up. First of all, we are not in some sort of fairy tale land, okay? And what exactly have you done to deserve your dream partner, whatever, and not have to put in any work for that? Why exactly do you think you deserve to be with someone who's like the top of the top notch of guys and you don't see anything wrong with the fact that you're actually not that perfect and you don't actually deserve that? The problem is actually delusion. So many people are just delusional, especially young people. I have said it once and I'm gonna say it again. Stop trying to fit in with people who you don't even like, who you don't even want to be like, and who have nothing to do with you or your life or any of your dreams or goals. You should only be focusing on trying to fit in with people who are good for you, who are meaningful in your life, and who are not gonna make your life worse. So if you're trying to fit in with the wrong type of people, I can promise you they're only gonna make your life worse and you're gonna waste every second of your life. So get rid of the people that you don't need, start focusing on what you want to be like, and get your advice, your wisdom, what you want to do, and all of that from people who actually mean something to you and people who you aspire to be like. I have said it once and I'm gonna say it again. Stop settling for people who you don't like and stop settling for people who you would never be with if the right person showed up. It is better to be alone and single and looking for the right person than to stay in a situation or relationship where you're just with that person because you're lonely. Because two things are gonna happen. Number one, you're gonna end up hurting that person when you leave them for the right person who finally comes along. And number two, you're wasting both of your time. You're gonna be unhappy, the person you're dating is gonna be unhappy, and I can promise you it's gonna end in disaster. So it's better to keep the door open for the right person by yourself, alone, and to leave the wrong people alone so that they can be with who's right for them. Here are 3 things that men need from women in a relationship. Number 1 is respect. They want you to respect their decisions, their opinions, and their leadership. If you don't respect them, then I can guarantee the relationship will not last long. Number 2 is love and affection. If you are not consistently giving your man hugs, if you're not giving him kisses, if you're not showing him that you care, he is gonna feel isolated in the relationship and he is not gonna feel loved by you. So make sure you give him love and make sure you give him affection to remind him that you are there and that you care. And number 3 is trust and honesty. He wants you to trust him and he wants to be able to trust you. So if you're giving him the indication that trust is a two-way street for the both of you, then I can guarantee the relationship with him will work out. Here's what I've come to realize and here's what I think. I think women who complain about men, say the most ridiculous things about men, like he gives me the ick and I don't like when men do this, are actually women who don't really like men that much. Because I feel like women who like men will be attracted to all the small things they do. Because they're gonna look at a guy do something really simple like stand in a specific way and that will immediately give them butterflies. Like, I don't know. Tell me if you think I'm right. I don't know if this is true for all women, but this is what I've noticed. Do you know what I find so incredibly sad? That men have been taught their entire lives how to treat women, but they've never been taught what to expect from a woman. And women haven't been taught how to treat a man. So often a man will be in a relationship where he gives his all, where he sacrifices so much for a woman, where he gives up his happiness to make her happy. And in the end, he gets nothing in return because the woman takes it all selfishly without giving anything back. So ladies, you have to learn to respect your man. Respect him, love him, be his peace, and show him how much you appreciate him. That's it. Ladies, here's a little word of advice. If you want your relationship to work with your man, don't be friends with women who don't have what you want. Don't go and gossip about your relationship to a divorced woman, for example. Don't go and get advice from friends who are jealous and who are single and who don't even want to be in a relationship. Because chances are they will give you advice that maybe sounds good to you in the moment, but is not gonna benefit your relationship in the long run. So make sure you only get advice from people who you know want the best for you and from people who are happy and who resemble something that you want for yourself and your relationship as well. Do you know why boundaries are so important in a relationship? Because boundaries are there to protect you. They're there for your partner to know you better, to know what you need, and to know what you want from them in their relationship. If you have a boundary of, if my partner cheats on me, I'm out, and they cheat on you and you stay, you're going against your word. You're going against your boundary. And ultimately, I can promise you, you will be unhappy. If you have a boundary of, I will not let my partner be abusive towards me, and you let them continuously over and over again, and you stay in that relationship because you love them, or you don't think you'll do better, or you don't want to be alone, you are letting them cross your boundary, disrespecting yourself and ultimately, like I said before, you will not be happy. So set your boundaries, make them clear to your partner, and don't ever settle for someone who doesn't respect you, because that person also doesn't love you. Someone who doesn't respect you, doesn't love you, and ultimately doesn't want the best for you. So your life will be worse than it would be if you were by yourself. Do you know why it's so important to outgrow people as you outgrow yourself? Because if you're outgrowing yourself and you're becoming a better version of yourself, but you are keeping the same people in your life, they will continuously drag you down to who you used to be. They'll continuously remind me of who you used to be and try to convince you to go back to who you used to be. Unless you are growing and the people around you are growing as well, you are going to need to get used to letting go of people and finding new people who match your new lifestyle better. And yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, it's gonna be tough. But if you're not willing to let go of bad people in your life, and I'm not necessarily saying bad in the sense of they're bad people, but people who are bad for you as you're growing and evolving, then you're never gonna be able to actually meet the people who are good for you, and you won't reach your full potential. So let go of the people who are not growing with you and start finding people who want to grow, who want to evolve, and who match new levels that you're reaching. Ladies, you need to stop being so paranoid, and you need to let your wall down and let the man in, okay? Let that man into your life, because he is just there waiting to love you and waiting to make your life better. And as long as you keep that wall up, you're just wasting time. You're wasting your time, you're wasting his time. Let him into your life and let him show you how much he loves you and how good he wants to be for you. And then make sure that you're good for him too, because he deserves a good woman as much as he is a good man. Can we normalize men being men and women being women? Can we normalize men doing manly, masculine things and not being expected to do feminine things, and women staying in their lane and doing feminine things? Can we normalize people living according to what they actually like and not what they think they would like? Because let's face it, there are so many people on this planet, and I'm going to say especially women, and I'm a woman because so I know this, who say they want a specific thing, but they actually don't want that. They just think they want that, but what they truly want is something completely else. If we want the world to get better again and to go back to the place where it used to be, we need to start accepting the fact that men are better at certain things and women are better at certain things. And as long as we are constantly fighting each other instead of trying to help each other and make each other's lives better, the world will not be a better place. So it's that simple. Let's just make it go back to the way it used to be.
Do you know what the funniest thing about so many men is nowadays? So many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only gonna waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
While women and men are not the same, and while men are not perfect and women are not perfect, I would just like to speak from my experience and say that I have never been as insulted by a man as I have by a woman. So when we talk about girls sticking up for other girls and girls being girls, you guys are terrible at that, so many of you. Because it's actually crazy when I look back on my life at the amount of times I've been insulted by girls, I've been put down by girls, and I've been let down by girls. Way less in my life has that happened with men. In fact, I can rarely remember a situation where a guy completely left me in the gutter or insulted me to the point where I actually remember it. And I'm not saying this to try and put down women. I'm just saying that women saying that other women are better than other men are completely wrong, because there are so many cases that have proven to me in my life that women are actually worse than men, even to their own gender, which I find kind of crazy actually. If people don't care about you, they're gonna show you in very small ways every single day. You just have to pay attention and you'll know. Stop lying to yourself. You know what I find so interesting and so funny? The people who usually have nothing wrong with them are the people who want to always improve themselves and who question themselves and wonder whether or not there's something wrong with them. And the people who have problems and have issues and have their life don't have their life sorted out and don't have anything sorted out are the ones who think they're perfect. Like, I find that so fascinating. Do you know what I've noticed? The people who have the most successful and happy lives are the people who choose to suffer in the short term so that they can have the long run consequences, which are good, of the decisions they made now. That includes your diet, that includes taking care of your body, that includes the relationships you choose to be in, and that includes your work ethic. If you are not doing those things and you are not taking care of yourself and you're trying to enjoy your life instead, then you will suffer the consequences of it. If you want a good life, make sure that you put in the effort you need to put in so that you can reap the rewards in the long term.